I can't get away from the two questions that David asked whenever he looked on the situation where the enemy was defying the children of Israel. I still have this vision of the devil defying the people of God today. And it's because they've been getting away from the Word of God. At the time, a number of years back, that God gave us a prophecy that the last day move of the Spirit of God would be a move of Spirit and Word. Down through the years we've had times whenever the Word was preached greater than others. Other times there was time whenever the Spirit moved with the signs, wonders and miracles. But this last move of God, I believe, is going to be a move of the Spirit and the Word. The time that prophecy come through here, I remember talking to different pastors, and a similar message had come through in their churches. And then I was listening to a testimony, Smith Wigglesworth's granddaughter. And in the midst of her giving her testimony, she said that the Lord had given her father or grandfather a prophecy that in the last days, now we know the expression in the Word of God means, when it talks about the last days, it's talking about the church age. So from the very beginning of the church age, there was a move of the Spirit and the Word. Now in that testimony that girl was given, she was given it on her 100th birthday. It was on her 100th birthday she was given this testimony. She told how as a young girl she was taken ill with meningitis, and I can't remember the name of the other crippling disease that she had. But her grandfather was preaching in South Africa whenever he got the word. So he stood up before he started the meeting. He said, "I've just received a message from England. My granddaughter's very ill and they're not expecting her to survive." So in that meeting, a big church, there was more than one floor level on it. He got everybody in that meeting to join hands. Even down the stairs, people stood on the stairs so that they were all joined. And they prayed for this young girl. He sent the prayer cloth from that meeting to England. And the very minute that that prayer cloth was laid on the pillow, that girl began to improve. She made a complete recovery. There was another woman interviewed, and she was a very young girl in that meeting. In fact, she got saved in that meeting. And she was so overwhelmed by the presence of God that she got saved that night. And she looked round her and saw all these people. They weren't fit to put an exact number on it, but it was in the thousands anyway, holding hands and believing God for this girl so far away. And she decided, if ever I can afford to go to England, I'm going to go to England, I'm going to see this girl. And she made her way to England and looked up and had a great time of fellowship. I'm telling this story to show what we're up against today, because that is on the airways, that testimony. But on the other hand, then I come across a pastor and I was so very surprised. He made a statement. He said in a meeting, when people gather together at the front or wherever and take hands, it's nothing short of witchcraft. So we have both of these things on the internet. What is the world out there to think? Because here we have a testimony of the grace of God, the evidence of full salvation, the evidence of the finished work of the cross. And then we get a man standing up and making such a hellish statement. Whenever we're serving the Lord and we're led of the Spirit of God, witchcraft is no way in.